Hello guys, welcome back to another online lecture video. And then today we are going to talk about another three terminologies to make a clear distinctions between these terminologies. These are the monophyletic groups, the paraphyletic groups, and then the polyphyletic groups. Now we are going to make a clear distinctions between these terminologies, and to tell you these are very simple terminologies. Always attack them or solve them with patience and with joy because they are very easy. I'm going to make it so easy for you today. Let's start with the first one, monophyletic groups. As the name implies, mono, one phyletic groups. What does that mean? When we said monophyletic groups. Now in monophyletic groupings, all the taxa, in other words, all the descendants, these are the descendants, A, B, C, and D are the descendants, and this is their ancestor. Now all the descendants, they share a closest common ancestry. Now, can we say this is the closest common ancestry for all these descendants? Well, I suggest no, because we have three different taxa here, and this is their closest common ancestry. And for this one and this one, their common ancestry is this one. So they didn't. How do we say that? How do we identify the monophyletic group in this phylogenetic tree? We first look at the descendants that share a very closest common ancestor. And if we look at this thing very well, you see that it is 1, 2, and 3, because they have a very closest common ancestor here. So when you draw a circle to differentiate these three from the rest of these ones, then these three will mean monophyletic group because they share the closest common ancestry. Now, we have to understand this, that in finding the evolutionary history or the common ancestry between species, if the phylogenetic tree is a monophyletic group, then monophyletic group, it tells us that those species, they came from a closest common ancestry. They have a common ancestry. They came from the same origin. So which means 1, 2, and 3, they came from the same origin here as their common ancestry. Monophyletic groups. All the descendants came from a closest common ancestry. That is monophyletic groups. All the descendants must have come from the same common ancestry. So you look at it, if they share the closest common ancestry, monophyletic group. Let's look at the other one, which is paraphyletic group. Now we have to be careful here. This thing sometimes confuses people whether it is monophyletic as well, but it is quite simple and they are very different. Now when you say paraphyletic, the descendants also, they share the closest common ancestor, but only few members are exempted from it. So that makes it to be paraphyletic, not monophyletic. In monophyletic, all the descendants share the closest common ancestor, but this one, only few members are exempted, but the rest share a closest common ancestor. Let's look at this one. We have A, B, C, and D taxas. Now, when you look at all these taxas, by right, all of them should be included in this categorization here. So these three taxa, A, B, and C, they share a common ancestry because by right D should have been there. But once we have removed that D from it, then it is no more a monophyletic group, because for this thing to be a monophyletic group, all the taxa should be included there. So if some of the descendants were shown to be arise from the same common ancestor and only few are exempted, then it becomes paraphyletic, no more monophyletic. Let's look at the last one, which is the polyphyletic group. Now, in the polyphyletic groups, none of the species shared a closest common ancestry, meaning that those species are completely different. They have a different origin. Let's look at these ones. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4 taxons. Now, when you look at these 4 taxons, this one, like 1 and 2, of course, they share the common ancestry. This one and this one, they share the common ancestry here. But now, when you consider this taxa and this taxa here, there is no common ancestry here, but it should be at the middle here. So, which means if you compare this taxa and this taxa, there is no closest common ancestry. So these 2 taxas, they are unrelated species. There is no common ancestry. And likewise, if you compare this one and this other taxa as well, there is no closest common ancestry. We could have been here. It's not there. So when you compare this one and this one too, it is also going to give you polyphyletic. They do not share any closest common ancestry. So this is it. To put everything together, the monophyletic groups, all the descendants, they shared a closest common ancestry. And it is used to tell us how the same origin, different species came. In the paraphyletic groups, some members share the closest common ancestry, except few members. Those few members are excluded, and that is why they are paraphyletic. In the polyphyletic groups, none of the members that are being compared shared a closest common ancestry. Those species, in fact, they came from a very different origin. They do not have any common ancestry. So that is it. I hope this video is going to help. Please share and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. And thank you so much